Hi, everyone. I'm Teri.
And I'm Ella.
Welcome to the Chasing Red Flags podcast. Let's get real.
Here, no topic is off limits.
And real beats perfect every time.
Welcome to the conversation.
Welcome to where you belong.
You're part of the family now, so let's get real together. Mom, we're doing it. It's our first podcast episode. How are you feeling?
I'm so nervous. I'm just anxious and nervous, but so excited. I can't wait to build like an awesome community here.
I'm so excited. I'm very nervous too, and I want to preface to you, obviously, I think I'm going to be feeling every single emotion when we're having these conversations, from laughter to tears and everything in between. But before we officially start, we just want to say thank you so much for being here and listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to the Chasing Red Flags podcast and leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to yours. And please subscribe to the Chasing Red Flags YouTube channel where you can watch all of the episodes. Okay. Do you want to start off, Mom, by telling everyone where the name Chasing Red Flags came from?
I would love to. In our house, I always used to use the term, why are you always chasing red flags, when it came to your shitty relationships and friendships. And one day, after ignoring me every time I used to say that, you just looked up and said, because we all have red flags. And you were right. So I think in this case of being vulnerable and true to ourselves and true to the podcast, I think we should start off by talking about our own red flags. And let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Because I have money, much less than you.
We can agree to disagree on that one. You're a walking red flag, but I think we all are, so I'll start off. But one of my biggest red flags is that I am a people pleaser, in the sense that I put everybody else's feelings before my own and try to make everyone else happy, and then I'm unhappy. So that's one of my biggest ones, I would say.
And you're working on that.
I'm working on that, but it is very hard for me to change my pattern, so I need to do that more.
Okay.
I would say another one is when I don't feel wanted, I make myself feel needed.
So you've said that a couple times.
I've been learning that in therapy, which is why
I don't fully understand what that means, if I'm being completely honest.
I can give you an example. But for example, in college, there was a group of girls that would always go and get coffee in the mornings on the weekends, and I would never be invited to go, or I would just always see them leave the house. And so I started to offer to drive using my car and like take all of them to get coffee, because then I felt like I was a part of it.
Got it. So
does that make sense?
It's because you didn't feel like they wanted you to go.
Yes.
You made yourself
Exactly.
feel needed.
Yes.
Okay. I totally get that.
Okay. Thank you. Another one is that I have anxiety, and this might not be a red flag to everybody, but there are little things for me that I have to do to make myself feel better in situations when I get anxious. For example, if I have like a job interview or I'm going to work at a new place and I don't know where it is, I like to drive and go like 4 days early, and that will help me calm my nerves and get the lay of the land and figure out where I am, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And I would say my worst red flag of all is that I take the longest showers in the entire world.
Yes.
And my water bill when I'm older is going to be extremely high.
Is already high now.
Is already high. Sorry, Dad.
And you should apologize to both of us.
Yes,
Thank
so I apologize.
Okay.
Would you like to go, Mom? And we don't have all day, so please just give a few.
I would say one of my biggest red flags is that I'm very loud. I have, as my family and you and my grandparents and everyone in our lives, they have called it volume control issue. I have a volume control issue.
It's the nice way to name it.
It's a nice way to name it, but I'm very loud everywhere I go. I would say I am an overprotective, crazy mom when it comes to you guys being hurt. When my children are hurt and someone hurts you guys, I go into complete mama bear crazy mode. And sometimes that can be a little much for people. I have no filter. I have been actively working on that, but sometimes when I have no filter, it comes with saying things right off the bat, being very straightforward, which is who I am.
Yes.
And I'm not really changing that.
You've always been that way.
But I do feel that sometimes I have a tone in my voice. Sometimes it can be misinterpreted what I say. So I'm being a little more thoughtful with my words while still being straightforward and myself. I would say I have no off button. So when I believe in something, I'm all in. And I would say my worst red flag as like a funny one is that, not really that funny, is that I'm a terrible driver.
Oh, see, I don't think that's funny. I drove home 8 hours from the University of Maryland because I did not trust you to drive that car.
No.
And I got us home safely.
But I didn't fight you on it
no,
because I
absolutely
am a
not,
bad
you
driver.
know you're a bad driver.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
I would love to have a driver. So
Okay.
if we're just throwing it out there, birthday, some sort of gift.
Okay, little driver.
Yeah. I
Even
think
for
I
like
should have a driver.
a few days. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay. We wrote a few questions for each other for everyone
We did.
listening because I think it will help everyone get to know us better. So I'm going to start. Are you ready to be a little grilled?
Sure.
Okay. Mom, what is one thing from your childhood that you don't want to repeat as a parent?
That I don't want to repeat.
You don't want to repeat.
Sometimes when I confided in my parents growing up, they would hold it against me. So, for example, and this one always stood out to me and like something that really bothered me. When I would tell them, oh, I have this friend and she's super wild and sneaks out of her house, and I was trying to like bond with them, they would love it and they would hear the whole story. And then a couple weeks later, I'd say, oh, can I sleep at Vanessa's house? And they would be like, isn't she the wild one? No, you can't sleep there. So I think as a parent, I've tried really hard that when you have told me stories about other kids or even about yourself, to not penalize you for confiding in me. So
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the scariest thing about being a parent?
Oh, there's so many scary things. I want to first say that I think parenting is the hardest job on earth. And keeping you safe and alive is terrifying. From when you were an infant, little kids, bigger kids, bigger problems. But I would also say making sure I'm raising a good human. You are kind, empathetic, loving, warm. Those qualities are super, super important as a mom and a parent to raise your children being a good human.
Yeah.
And so I'd say it's scary thinking that I'm doing something wrong.
I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think I'm pretty great.
I think you are. This one's funny, okay? What's your most embarrassing story from high school? Because I know embarrassing stories, but I don't know like what your top one is.
I think if we had my high school friends on the podcast,
That would be good.
that would be interesting, and they would have so many. I would say my embarrassing story for myself was I went to a party and I remember sitting at a table with a group of boys playing cards and trying to keep up with them while they were drinking.
Been there.
And they were all having shots, and I wanted to be the cool girl. And I sat and I had 6 tequila shots. And then I got up and I felt like immediately sick and nauseous. And I didn't know this kid's house, so I walked down a hallway and I opened a door thinking it was the bathroom. And it was where everyone had their winter coats on the floor.
Oh, God.
And I proceeded to throw up all over the winter coats and then take the bottom one, put it on the top one, get a ride home. And the next day when everyone was talking about how their jackets were covered in throw up, I didn't say a word to anyone. I was humiliated. I had thrown up all night. And I still can't drink tequila to this day. So I would say that's my most embarrassing story.
So anyone in high school, it was my mom. She was the one that threw up on all of the jackets.
Thank you. It was me. It was me.
That's really funny.
Guilty.
That's a good one. Okay. Do you want to tell everyone what Teri Talks are?
Oh, Teri Talks are when people come over to just talk. We sit and then get advice and just talk through things, and simple as that. Just Teri Talks.
Love it. Do you have any regrets so far as a parent?
Every single day. I think every single day I think to myself, am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? Did I say the right thing? Am I teaching the right things? I have learned through therapy that it's really important to give yourself grace and to not be so hard on yourself. Parenting is an on-the-go job. And every single day I kind of think to myself, should I have said that? Should I have done that? It's just what comes with the territory.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is the dumbest thing you've ever said?
Oh.
Just thought I'd throw this one in there.
So I would say Gaga and Papa, your grandparents, Dad, have a list
I
in
probably
their
have a list,
phones
too.
of the dumb things that I say because I'm constantly saying stupid things. But I would say your grandparents would say that growing up, they had a guy come over when I wanted to go away on a summer program called a teen tour. They used to come to the house and tell you all about the tour. And he was sitting there telling us about my summer, what it was going to look like. And he gave me a list of all the things I needed to bring. And he told me that I needed a 64-pound suitcase.
Okay.
And I looked up at him and I said, I can't even say it out loud. I said, where am I going to buy a 64-pound suitcase? And he just had this look on his face, and Gaga and Papa were hysterical laughing. And I was like, oh, he meant packed. And he said, in all the years that I have been doing this and going to people's houses, I've never heard that question before.
That's great.
Dumbest thing I've ever said.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's a
I'm an
good story.
Is it my turn?
One more for me.
Is it my turn?
One more.
Okay.
What do you do for self-care?
I walk at least 6.5 miles every day. I have a route. And sometimes I walk a second walk. It just relaxes me. It gets my stress out. While I walk, I listen to podcasts. Sometimes I talk on the phone, and I do work, and I can tell you that I've been yelled at in town. Do you know everyone can hear your conversation? And I'm like, yeah, I'm loud. I'm outside. But
Volume control.
yes. So I walk, I listen to podcasts, I read a million self-help books, a million parenting books. I'm all about learning about myself. And if I really want to shut my brain off, I binge watch TV shows. So
That's good.
yeah. Is
All
it my
right.
turn to grill you?
Give it to me.
Okay. I made a list of questions. What was your middle school and high school experience like? Sorry.
It was hard. I felt a lot like nobody wanted to be my friend for a long period of time. So if I wasn't the person having people over at my house, at the house here, I didn't feel like I would be invited anywhere else. And trust me, I would have rather been invited to parties with everybody in my grade and hanging out with everyone, but I had people over because that's the only place I was invited, which is sad, but it's the truth.
Yes. And we did. We had people here all the time. And I think that was
Hard.
part of it, was that you weren't invited anywhere else, which was hard. What was it like having me as a mom growing up?
So good. Amazing. I love having you as a mom because I feel so safe with you. And you look at me and I just never feel like I'm going to be judged. And that's all I can ask for.
What were my biggest parenting rules?
Biggest parenting rules.
Was I strict?
You weren't strict, like grounding wise, but you had rules that if I did break, there would be consequences, like the no lying rule, which I think is one of my favorite rules. Like, I know it's a rule, but I like it because I don't like lying to you. So I think that was amazing. Respect each other and the way that we speak to each other.
Which is a work in progress because you have a tone.
I'm still working on it. We both have a little bit of a tone.
And we fight about that a lot.
Yes. And you, all through high school, I mean, now I'm older, but all through high school, I was not allowed to sleep with my phone in my room. And that might seem crazy, or just no technology at all. I didn't have a TV. I didn't have my iPad or computer or anything in my room. I left it all downstairs, and it was my 8 to 10 hours of bliss where I didn't have to hear a buzz and I didn't have to wake up to go to the bathroom and look at my phone. It was so nice to just sleep without that, and I like that rule from you.
It's funny because I think that is an unusual rule, and most kids would fight with their parents about that. But you never gave me a single issue. And you gave it to me when you were done with being on your phone. You're a normal kid. Have you ever experienced heartbreak that wasn't romantic? Sorry. Ouch.
Yes. I had a best friend breakup at the end of freshman year of high school, and it changed my high school experience from what I thought it was going to be and what I wanted it to be. And I hate to admit it, but it does still affect me to this day. So.
I know. What's the biggest secret you've ever kept from me?
That I had my eating disorder. I hated keeping that secret.
What are 3 things you like about being a college student?
3 things I like about being a college student. So many. I love my independence, and not necessarily in the rebellious way of, oh, no parents in the house, nothing like that, but there are things I need to do, and I can do them at my time when it works for me and the way that I want to do them, and I love that. So that's
Without
been
me
amazing.
telling you when you have to do them.
Yes, and I just, no offense,
No,
but
I get it.
so that's been really nice.
Yeah.
I love the business school. The classes I'm taking have helped me a lot with running this business with you, and I'm continuing to learn more, so it's been awesome. And the wide variety of people that I've met through this school, being at such a big school, it's been amazing, and I've made so many connections that I never thought I would make from my high school experience, so it's truly been amazing.
Okay. What are your 3 favorite things about summer when you are not working?
When I'm not working, I'm always working.
I know, but you love summer. You love summer.
Yes, I love summer. I love concerts. You know that. That's my favorite thing. Outside, country, any music, really. I love beach days. I love laying on the beach, getting tan. Getting burnt. I don't get tan. I burn, and then it tans after a few days.
And I'm crazy.
And you
with
yell
the
at me,
sunscreen.
but
yeah.
I don't listen. And Italian ice. It's my favorite thing of the summer. I literally have it every single night if I can get it.
You do.
Yes.
How is your mental health today?
My mental health today is really good. I'm doing great. And
I know, and I'm very proud of you.
thank you. But I like that you asked today because, as you know, in therapy, I've learned that it's really important to take things day by day because today is an amazing day, but you don't know how I'm going to be tomorrow. And it's important to focus in the moment. So today I am doing great.
I'm so happy.
Thank you.
You look awesome.
Thank you.
What do you do for self-care, like me?
What do I do for self-care? I've been getting more into walks, and I run sometimes. Not, you don't run, but
I do not.
I run.
Just, we'll never run.
Yes.
No, I will never say never. I do not like to run.
I don't believe you'll be running, but that's fine. I love listening to music. That kind of just helps my brain not think of anything. Taylor Swift, obviously. Anything, Noah Khan, my favorites. And self-care having to do with, I love getting my nails and toes done and doing a face mask and just relaxing. And then I've also...
You love your beauty days.
I do love my beauty days and hair mask, whatever I need to do. And then I've gotten this from you. I get it from my mama, but I binge watch TV shows all the time.
Yes.
We watch them together too.
I will say that's been one of the best things that we've done is that we,
we like the same shows.
We pick shows together and we watch them, and I love that. That's like one of my favorite things.
Me too.
Oh my God. I don't have any more questions for you.
Wait, does that mean we're done?
We're done. We're done with our first podcast episode.
Look at that. We did it.
Okay. Thank you for listening, and we hope you'll come back for our next episode.
In the meantime, keep being real, keep being you, and know that we've got your back. If you have any thoughts, questions, or just want to say hi, we would love to hear from you. Your support means everything to us. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Chasing Red Flags Official and on Facebook and YouTube at Chasing Red Flags. And if you want to share your story, ask a question, or pick up some Chasing Red Flags merch, go to chasingredflags.com. The Chasing Red Flags podcast is produced by J. Del Turco. We are new in this space, so if you enjoyed what you're hearing, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or add a comment and like on our YouTube channel.